I came up with a video idea of sharing 10 tools that I have kept and drug around that have plagued me, that I absolutely detest, and asking myself, why do I continue to suffer these things? So I pulled out my 10 most hated tools that I will not be taking with me. I've got ye old garbage can right here. They're going right in. I'm going to share it with you. Now, maybe some of these I may not be using them right, but that's my personal experience. So I'm going to go through one through 10 and explain to you why I detest them so much. First one, any sort of a wrench that doesn't have an offset. Number 2, Milwaukee tape measures. Cut my fingers multiple times on this. It is a hateful and terrible thing, and I won't suffer it a moment longer. Number 3, spray foam. Spray foam. I have spent hundreds of dollars on spray foam. It's always kind of always the refuge of the hack carpenter. Oh, it doesn't quite fit right. I'll just fill it with spray foam. I have ruined more pair of pants and shirts and clothing and gloves. Have you ever tried to get spray foam, dried spray foam, off of an article of clothing? There's nothing tougher than this stuff. No more spray foam for me. The next is the mechanic's crow's foot. I'm done with it. I'm not packing them up. All of them are gone. Next is a jitterbug sander. Now, yes, I get it. Back in the day, there was a couple options. If you wanted to use an electric sander, right, you had a belt sander, which of course is a great tool. And for smaller work, you had a jitterbug sander that jitterbugs back and forth. I have never experienced a more useless tool than a jitterbug sander. By the time you fool with it and get the cord and mess with it, you could have just hand sanded for the most part. Worth throwing in the garbage. The next are these cheap Home Depot caulking guns. They are so janky and so crummy and so poorly made. And most of them, this one's a little bit different. Most of them, the new ones that I've seen, don't have the little plunger. I'll never suffer that thing again. Next off, the Makita worm drive skill saw. No more. It's gone. Next off, channel locks. Now, I have a lot of channel locks, and that's always been a staple in my toolbox, and I didn't really know any different. My old auto shop teacher used to call them bolt rounders. After using the Knipex pliers, if you don't own the Knipex Cobras and you're still suffering these terrible things, it's time to move on. Garbage. Next thing that I've never liked is any sort of a bow saw. Now, this is a fold-up survival style, but they're all basically the same thing, right? So here's the problem with these things. And I know everyone seems to love these, right? You buy them and you're like, yeah, man, if I ever get stranded in the woods, I'll take my bow saw and I'll build myself a cabin. I've never had any good luck with them. They're a miserable thing to cut with because they just won't seem to cut straight, and they're just awful to use. I do not like them. Finally, this is going to rub a lot of folks the wrong way. Any sort of a tomahawk. I have received so many suggestions from people. You need to get this particular tomahawk, or you need this particular tomahawk. And there's this idea out there for survival or even general work that a tomahawk is a better tool than an axe. It is not. The tomahawk, I don't think that it's good for anything other than just killing. I think it's probably was designed for an implement of war, maybe general purpose, but when you compare it to an axe, it doesn't do anything very well. I've never liked them. I've never found them to be useful. Do not like tomahawks. That's it. We'll see you guys over on the new homestead.